In this video today, I'm going to share all the pros and all the cons of living in Simpsonville, South Carolina. And stick around, you're not going to want to miss this last con because it could be a reason that you decide you don't want to move to Simpsonville, South Carolina. If you're new to our channel, I'm Whaley. I'm the head of the Living in Greenville SC team. So if you're thinking about making a relocation, or if you're local and you're wanting to make a move in Greenville or learn more about the area, we're your go-to channel. Before we get into the pros and cons, I thought I should at least talk a little bit about Simpsonville to give you some background information. One of the things to know is that Simpsonville is actually a suburb of Greenville, South Carolina. It's on the southern end, so it's a little south of Greenville, about 15 miles or so of the actual downtown center of Greenville. It's actually the 23rd largest city in all of South Carolina. Now that you have a little bit of background information about Simpsonville, let's get on to the pros and cons part of this video. One of the first things that I have to say that's a huge pro about living in Simpsonville is the cost of living. The cost of living in Simpsonville is actually 9% below the US average, so it's a very affordable place to live overall. The biggest reason for that is actually real estate values. The real estate values in Simpsonville are 26% below the US average, making it very affordable housing. When I look at all the sales from 2022 in the housing market in Simpsonville, the average price per square foot was $165. But just to get a general average so you know what you're paying price per square foot, that's where you'd be in Simpsonville, making it one of the most affordable suburbs in all of the upstate and making it a great place for someone that wants that larger home. So that makes it a big attraction to the Simpsonville area when we speak specifically to real estate. One pro that I really needed to mention about Simpsonville is they actually have Heritage Park there. The park is great because it has a lot of open greenery. It's got all of the traditional things you think about with a park, with a playground. They have several baseball fields. There's an amphitheater there, so during the summer they bring in a lot of great concert acts, and that makes Simpsonville really unique, and that's the only amphitheater we have in the area. So when you see people traveling to this part of the country, play music, and they want to do an outside venue, Simpsonville is where they go. So I have to say that is a big pro for Simpsonville, especially if you're a music fan. Another pro that I have to go with is the location of Simpsonville. What makes the location so great in Simpsonville, South Carolina is that it's located really close to a lot of attractions that people want to go to. It's 2.5 hours from Atlanta, Georgia. You're an hour and 45 minutes from Charlotte. You're an hour and a half from Columbia, South Carolina, the capital. You're 3 hours away from the beach in Charleston, South Carolina, an hour and a half from Asheville, North Carolina. Just overall, a lot of really great attractions nearby and a lot of great cities. So if you want to do that quick weekend trip, you have tons of options out there. Another really big pro about Simpsonville is, according to Greater Schools, Simpsonville has some of the best schools in all of South Carolina. Now, of course, do your own research, look through all of that, and there are several different school systems in Simpsonville. One thing that is really awesome about Greenville County in general is it is a first choice school district. What that means simply is that if you are zoned for a school system that you don't feel is best for your kids, you can actually put them in and let them apply for another school. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're guaranteed to get in, but it is an option that I haven't seen in a lot of other places throughout the country. Another really big pro of living in Simpsonville is all of the conveniences that are offered to you. Everything from quick interstate access to having a lot of the stores and places that people want to go. But for my last pro, I have to say the downtown. And this is actually a newer pro for me because over the last few years, the Simpsonville downtown has grown by leaps and bounds. What I mean by that is they have done a lot of work in the downtown to make it a really attractive place for people to want to come to no matter what their situation is. You know, if you are a dog lover and you want to bring your dogs out and you want to have a great time with them, there are options for you to bring them to go out to eat or to grab a beer. You've got pizza, and then you've got a German pub. You've got a park that is right there, right in the center of downtown, where people can play frisbee golf and kids can play. So that's really nice, and it's shaded with big trees. and it's a really just great experience. They also have the fire department and the police station right downtown, so that makes it really nice, and generally speaking, compared to all the statistics out there, a pretty safe place to be and a place that people really enjoy and have a great time. Now let's move on to some of the cons and things you really need to consider if you're thinking about moving to the area. And please remember, stick around to the end because you're not going to miss this last one. I promise you, it could be a game changer for you. My first con that I have to go with is actually the location. I know I mentioned how amazing the location was before, and let me explain why I'm saying the location is kind of a con as well. One of the things I think is really special about living in the upstate is being close to lakes and the mountains, and just having all of that to go hiking and mountain biking and all of those things that people tend to really enjoy and gravitate towards when they decide to move here to the upstate. Fortunately, Simpsonville is just a little bit further away to do those things. My next con, which I kind of already mentioned, is you don't get some of those beautiful views of the mountains when you're driving around, and I think that just takes away a little bit from some of the charm that you get here in the upstate. You're a lot flatter in Simpsonville than you are in a lot of the other areas of the upstate. With that, if you are someone who wants a basement home, you won't find a lot of that in Simpsonville. I know that's a big one when I have people moving here from the Northeast. That's just something to keep in mind. My next con is actually the infrastructure and traffic in Simpsonville. If you read anything on Simpsonville, most people will mention Woodruff Road, and it'll be a pretty divisive kind of topic because Woodruff Road can be absolutely incredible because almost anything you'd ever want is right there for you. You just drive down one road and you can go eat, shop, do whatever you would like, and it has something for everybody. The con of that is because it's all on one road, which also has residential housing and is a big major part of being able to get to your home, there can be some backup with traffic. We've seen that in some of the other areas of Simpsonville now as well, where the infrastructure just isn't quite there for the amount of population growth that Simpsonville has seen recently, so you'll sit in a little bit more traffic. Now, what I always tell people about traffic is, depending on where you're coming from, it might not even be noticeable. I've had people in from Charlotte recently and they were like, this traffic is absolutely nothing. Another con of living in Simpsonville, and something you just want to pay attention to in general when you're in the upstate, we do have some trains that run through the area. If you're somebody that a train noise will bother you, that's something you might just want to pay attention to. How close are you to the train tracks? There's a part of Simpsonville over there near Heritage Park where the train comes by. If you're really sensitive to noise, and that's something that might bother you. Now, on to my last con, and the one that I thought could truly be a game changer, is you should know that Simpsonville has the highest population density per square mile of all of the different cities in Greenville County, just barely beating Greenville itself by about 200 people per square mile. So there's 2,700 people per square mile in Simpsonville. That isn't by any means something that is absolutely insane compared to some of the other larger cities in the US. You need to know that that area in Simpsonville is very residential heavy and focused. So it's just something to consider, and that kind of leads back to that whole infrastructure thing that I mentioned, where you can get some traffic buildup in that area more than you see in some of the other suburbs. Now, what I will say on the flip side of that, what Simpsonville's done really well is you don't seem to notice that there's that many people per square mile because they've done a great job of preserving a lot of the trees and the maintenance and sidewalks and communities and making it just feel a little bit more open and inviting, and it doesn't feel like you're in some major big city or anything like that. And overall, they've really done an amazing job with the city. I know I mentioned the infrastructure. Beautiful thing is the city's already working on that. They've already got a plan to expand Woodruff Road. They've already done some of those things already. It's really helped, and I think they're going to continue to do more and more as we see the population continue to grow. So to really, recap, I know we went over a lot in this video. Simpsonville truly is an amazing place to live. If you're thinking about moving to the Greenville, South Carolina, the upstate here, Simpsonville is definitely an option that you should consider. If you're someone that wants to have a really affordable cost of living, you want the conveniences of the quick drive, you want to make sure that you're close to a downtown that offers you a lot of different options, but you don't have to drive all the way into downtown Greenville, then Simpsonville could be a really phenomenal option for you. If you're considering moving to Simpsonville or just have questions about the upstate in general, please go ahead and reach out down below. All of our contact details are in there. You can actually even get our free relocation guide. Just shoot us an email and we'll send that right over to you. And it covers Simpsonville and all the other surrounding areas of Greenville and gives you a lot more additional information. Anyways, we hope you love this video. We hope to hear from you. Please, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Let us know you're watching. Go ahead and give us a comment So we'd love to hear what other videos you'd like to see, and if there's anything more you'd like to learn about Simpsonville. And to be the first to know about all of our new videos, go ahead and hit that bell icon to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We're releasing a video about once a week, so we would love to see you there, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.